Good morning, I'm Catherine Zone. Thanks for joining us. We'll get to those stories in just a few moments.
And I'm Chris Gilson. It is Saturday, July 2nd, as we head into the 4th of July holiday. A lot of questions about the weather today because of the rain that we saw yesterday. How it could impact your plans today? Well, we're going to see a chance for some storms today, but it gets better and then hotter, of course, too, as we dry things out. But today we are looking at that chance for a few spot storms later on this afternoon, but we're starting out dry here in the metro. Just some spot showers across the northern half of the state around Chama. Those are pretty much fizzling out. And then we also have some light rain getting ready to move in from Arizona into New Mexico later on this morning. Outside of that, we're dry and quiet with temperatures on the cooler side, but you'll notice the moisture in the air stepping out the door. Lower 60s here in Albuquerque, 60 in Santa Fe. The 70s in the eastern half of the state, 60s in Tier C, 59 the cool spot in Silver City. Temperatures topping out in the middle to upper 80s this afternoon, so slightly warmer than it was yesterday, but then the 90s and the triple-digit heat return. We'll take a look at the warm-up coming up in a few moments.
Thanks, Chris. Developing overnight, law enforcement shut down part of I-40 at San Mateo while crews soaked up gallons of fuel from the roadway. Take a look at this video shot a little after 2 this morning. It wasn't long after emergency crews responded. Albuquerque police tell us this tractor trailer hit something in the road, and whatever it was punctured the fuel tank, causing a leak. No word on what exactly poked a hole in that tank or how much fuel spilled, but police say the truck was carrying about 3,500 gallons. This morning, he'll wake up behind bars, but prosecutors want to be sure an accused drunk driver in Santa Fe isn't back out on the streets anytime soon. Scott Owens was out on bond for a DWI arrest in February, but was taken back to jail on Wednesday for violating conditions of his release. Prosecutors say not only did he fail a court-ordered drug test, but now his mandatory alcohol monitoring device is missing. In 2009, Owens was cleared of drunk driving in a crash that killed 4 teens. He pleaded guilty to another DWI in 2012. Former New Mexico governor and presidential hopeful Gary Johnson is still trying to get enough votes to participate in the presidential debates. Last night, the Libertarian candidate was a guest on Real Time with Bill Maher. Johnson was the Libertarian candidate in 2012 and won 1% of the vote. This year, he's polling over 10%, but Johnson needs 15% of the national vote to participate in the presidential debates. Moving on to this, you can now bring your dog or cat onto city buses. The City Council proposed pilot program started yesterday and is aimed towards helping those who rely on the bus and their pets. The animals are only allowed to ride during non-peak hours. Dogs must be on a leash and muzzled, and cats have to be in carriers. We didn't spot any riders with pets yesterday, but passengers we spoke to say they'll give it a try.
And then, like my mother, she's disabled and she has a little dog named Lucky, and she loves that thing to death. And I think it would be good for her to get out, especially with her companion.
ABQ Ride says passengers will have to clean up after their pets, and bus drivers do have a right to stop you and your pet from getting on board if the animal seems threatening. This initiative is said to last through the end of the year. Then the city will decide whether it will be permanent. A California couple is pleading with whomever took their prized possession to give it back. The two were in Albuquerque for a national tour to show off their one-of-a-kind Model T Speedster when someone stole it. Thieves made off with the couple's truck, trailer, and the man's 1926 Model T Ford Speedster. It's parrot green with wings painted on the front hood and the number 21. They say when they woke up Friday morning, it was all gone.
We were leaving early because a death in the family, and it was unexpected. And I figured, okay, I'm going to see my cousin when I get home.
Police did find the truck last night, but the Speedster is still missing. The couple is offering a $5,000 reward to whomever finds it. APD needs your help finding a man targeting businesses along San Mateo. Police say a Hispanic man burglarized Roberto Salon. They say he drove this early 90s Chevy van with the letter H on the sides, front and back, to do it. Police tell us neighboring businesses were hit too. If you see this van or have any information, you can call Crime Stoppers at 843-STOP. Developing news out of Bangladesh, where at least 20 people are dead after a violent hostage situation. Officials say at least 20 hostages died in what's being called a militant attack. Police stormed the restaurant, killing 6 of the militants and rescuing 13 hostages. 2 officers were killed and dozens more were wounded. So far, the Islamic State group claims responsibility. About 35 people were taken hostage when gunmen stormed the Dhaka restaurant last night. Another search for clues in the death of Dylan Redwine. The 13-year-old went missing in November 2012 while he was visiting his father, Mark. His remains were found 7 months later. His death declared a homicide. Mark Redwine remains a person of interest in his son's death. And now, according to the Herald, a search for evidence near Middle Mountain will take place next week. If you're planning to spend the 4th of July holiday at the lake, you'd better grab a spot now. Thousands of campers are expected to pack New Mexico lakes over the next few days, and spots are filling fast. Elephant Butte is one of the state's most popular holiday hotspots. Last year, state park officials say they saw more than 125,000 people from June 29th to July 5th. They're expecting the same, if not more people this year.
Based on our reservation system that we use, Reserve America online, most of our state parks are nearing capacity on the reserve side.
There are still first come, first served spots available. Elephant Butte and Ute Lake will be setting off fireworks on Saturday night. Concha State Park's fireworks show is on Sunday, and Eagle Nest and Summer Lake will celebrate Monday. We have more 4th of July information and events on our KRQE News app. New Mexico is getting thousands of dollars to help fight the Zika virus. The CDC awarded New Mexico nearly $300,000 to support local prevention efforts. While no Zika-carrying mosquitoes have been detected here, health officials say the funding will help the state prepare for the first case if there ever is one. There's currently no vaccine or treatment for Zika. Lost and confused. Some visitors say signs near the airport don't do their job. Damaged. What the airport has to say when it comes to helping travelers find their way. Next. And if you think pet owners have a tough time calming dogs or cats over the holiday weekend, imagine what it's like for zookeepers. We have an inside look coming up.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. It is 10 after 7 o'clock. A live look at downtown Albuquerque. A gorgeous start to the holiday weekend. After some rain last night, we could see more beneficial rain later on today for parts of the state. We'll talk about it and how it could impact your outdoor plans coming up in a few moments. Catherine.
Thank you, Chris. While you and your family may love fireworks, animals certainly do not. It's something the zoo will be dealing with this weekend for sure. And as News 13's Fernanda Lopez reports, it's a problem likely to keep up a lot of zookeepers all weekend.
Fireworks can be pretty scary for most of these animals here at the zoo, but as we learned today, it's the elephants who would really love to forget what they're about to experience over the next few nights. The crowd goes crazy for a good fireworks show, but most animals at Albuquerque's zoo just want to find a place to hide, and most of them don't have the luxury of going into a shell. This weekend, zookeepers will give some of the high-profile animals some options.
Some of our animals will have the choice to be inside or outside, so they can be comfortable outside. They start to hear those fireworks. They can move into their spaces.
The elephants are a big concern because they're in the outer part of the zoo and are sensitive to explosions and vibrations.
And the elephants will be locked in at night for the 4th.
The big primates are a concern too, so the gorillas, chimps, and orangutans will be able to duck inside at night if they get scared, and after the crowds are gone from the zoo. And the illegal fireworks start lighting up the night sky, the zookeepers will be worrying, and so will zoo lovers, knowing animals and fireworks don't mix.
I think they might hurt their ears because the fireworks are very loud. Because the fireworks are loud, and maybe if someone shoots them kind of far, they might hit one.
But leave it to the kids to come up with a quick plan to protect the animals.
I will stay with them. I think you should, put a cover on them a little bit.
Zookeepers say they won't have to spend any nights down here at the zoo watching over the animals over the holiday weekend. Of course, there is security down here every night, and they can call in the zookeepers if any of the animals are really having a tough time. Fernanda Lopez, KRQE, News 13.
If you're looking to hit the zoo on July 4th, it's open for an extra hour until 6 o'clock. Travelers say the Sunport is one of the nicest airports around, but they're concerned about 2 damaged road signs ignored for months. The signs are on the Sunport Boulevard after you turn off of I-25. The airport says they're responsible for maintaining them, and the sun caused the damage on these 2. They say it's gotten worse the past couple of weeks, and some visitors say they're left lost and confused.
I was confused, especially since I didn't know how to get to the rental car part. So I looked up and then I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm really in a lot of trouble.
The airport says they were hoping the sign would last through the end of the year as the facility undergoes a $16 million facelift. During that process, all of the facility signs will be replaced inside and out, and there will be upgrades to the ticketing and baggage areas. Will the weather cooperate with your 4th of July holiday plans? Meteorologist Chris Gilson has the answer in his full forecast after the break. Plus, residents in one New Mexico city now have a new way to beat the heat. Details next. Welcome back. People in Carlsbad now have a new place to cool off this summer, and the city hopes it gives others another reason to visit. Lines were long as kids waited to take their turn down Big Blue, the 50-foot high water slide.
The water slide, it's pretty fun. It goes fast.
As soon as them doors open, they haven't came out. Maybe just once to eat, and that's about it.
The water park cost the city $4.5 million, but admission is just $5. It's free for kids 3 and under, and for adults 63 and up.
Very exciting. Water parks, always fun.
Always. I love water parks, but I haven't been to one in a really long time.
No.
Are there any around here? I know that there used to be the beach, right? But that's not around anymore.
No, that's not around. I did go to Denver and Water World, if you can say that.
Denver and Water World.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Water World in Denver.
Wave pool,
Ooh, yeah.
slides galore. It was a good time.
All right, next time you go, you're taking me.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Well, if you're crashing a pool today, it's going to be good for that this weekend. As long as you can dodge some raindrops this afternoon, it won't be too bad. It's not going to be as active and as cool as it was yesterday on your Friday. Instead, we're going to see more sunshine today with this chance for some showers and thunderstorms, especially around the mountains. We're socked in with the clouds at the warmer than yesterday when we made it to 84 degrees. And then those temperatures really heat up for tomorrow into low to mid 90s for Sunday and also for the 4th of July. And we're going to stay dry and pretty warm as we head into next week after today.
Can't say I'm surprised, Chris.
Yeah, I know. The 80s, we'd take them for a day or two, and then it's back to the 90s.
We're getting spoiled.
Yeah.
Well,
yesterday was nice with the clouds, a little bit of a break.
It was perfect, and the day before that was really nice, too.
Yeah, and we got some beneficial moisture in the States, so that's good, too.
So we really don't have anything to complain about,
Yeah,
do we?
no.
Thanks so much, Chris. If you're heading to the biopark, you can now check out the Butterfly Pavilion. It opened for the summer. The pavilion features several hundred North American butterflies and thousands of plants. 250 tropical butterflies will join the native butterflies by mid-July. You can find the exhibit on the west side of the Botanic Garden. You won't find her playing with dolls or makeup. How one young girl is taking the boxing world by storm coming up, and an unusual bond starts a social media storm. The unlikely friendship between a dog and fish next. Welcome back. Here's a look at what's trending. There's a new world record for the most balloons popped in under a minute, and you can congratulate this dog. This Jack Russell Terrier, Twinkie from California, went on a popping spree. Get it? Shopping spree, but popping spree. It was an easy feat for this canine. He beat the Guinness World Record by knocking out 100 balloons in less than 40 seconds. But there is a twist to this story. Twinkie's mom, the one and only, she was a former record holder. So it looks like this talent for balloon destruction and mayhem runs in the family.
And he just goes at it. He knows what the mission is.
I'm telling you.
And he stays focused on it and just goes for it.
Search and destroy.
That was a little, that video is sped up, so
Yes.
He's not going that fast. But 40 seconds and 100 balloons,
That's still
pretty impressive
good.
for a dog.
I'm not going to lie. Again, Chris, this is something I don't think I could master in mere moments. I'd really have to dedicate some time and practice to something like that. And that dog obviously has.
He's talented. All right, from a dog who loves balloons to a dog who loves koi fish. Daisy, the French bulldog, loves Frank the fish. She'll visit Frank in his pond whenever she can and give him puppy kisses. Frank doesn't seem to mind. These two lovebirds have gotten lots of attention on social media. Daisy's owner says that so far it's gotten thousands of shares on Instagram and Facebook, and you can see why he is very intrigued by the fish.
Yeah, and hungry. I'm telling you,
I mean,
Chris.
Catherine, why does your mind have to go there?
I'm just saying, it's
He's just
unnatural.
showing some animal love.
I know, but look, he's drooling almost. He's trying to get in there for a snack.
He's just looking at him.
All right, well,
he's not going after
I
him.
would just be careful. If I was Freddie, I'd keep an extra eye out for Daisy, just in case.
It looks like Freddie has some friends to...
Some backup.
Yeah,
Good call,
to
Freddie.
watch.
Good call. Well, it looks like Facebook will be back to focusing on the family and friends you care about most. The social network says it's updating its news feed to make posts from your favorite friends, so to speak, appear higher in your feeds. Now this after users complained they were missing important updates from family and friends amid a growing number of posts from news media, publishers, and advertisers. The new news feed will put many publishers' posts farther down. The company's vice president of product management says it is possible some publishers may see a small drop in reach, but it won't be very significant.
Oh, the drama with the news feed on Facebook.
You know what? I have to be honest with you, Chris. I don't even know the difference between a publisher and an advertiser. I mean, all I know is there's a lot of spam on my feed, and I'm grateful that they're getting all that stuff farther down so I can see what's important. Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Facebook. Appreciate that.
All right, a little girl in Philadelphia is a boxing champ in the making at 8 years old. Bree Mathis is the youngest and only girl in her boxing camp. Her instructor, Derek Felder, says Bree was also the best boxer in the camp. Felder says the girl is a hard worker who is passionate about boxing. Bree has boxed previous to this boxing camp, and her parents say they plan on keeping her in the sport as long as she loves it. I'm sure she can throw some hard punches. It looks like it.
It does look like it. She's fierce. And I'll tell you one thing. She has some fierce, brave parents, too, because I tell you, I would be a little cautious. I don't know if I'd let my little girl go into a boxing camp. She's the only one. There's some big guys out there. I mean, obviously, I want her to do what she wants.
She's holding her own.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Well, moving on to this now. Residents affected by the massive Doghead fire react to results of an investigation. How something that's supposed to help the forest could be to blame for the blaze. And the latest on a possible fuel spill on a major stretch of interstate. What we know so far is still to come.
We had some storms yesterday. We'll take a look at your 4th of July holiday weekend forecast in a few moments.